A lot is on the line. The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Seattle Seahawks. This is everything you need to know, who's in, who's out, and more. So, the Steelers come into this game with an 8-7 record, and the Seattle Seahawks, they come into this game with an 8-7 record, and this is basically a must-win game for both teams if they want to have any chance of making the playoffs. So the Steelers are going to be on the road and Seattle Seahawks are going to be at home for this game. This game will be taking place Sunday at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time. And like I said, a lot is on the line as both teams are fighting and clawing their way to have a chance to make the postseason and have a playoff run. So we're going to start off with the injury report for both teams, but I'm going to start off with the Steelers first. So the Steelers on Friday had an injury report of quarterback Kenny Pickett being limited with an ankle injury. Safety Trenton Thompson with a neck injury did not practice. Najee Harris with a knee injury practiced in full, even though early in the week he sat out a couple times. Macus Fitzpatrick, safety, knee injury, did not participate. Linebacker Elandon Roberts with a pectoral injury did not participate. Isaac Seumalo with a shoulder injury did not participate. So, even though those are some players who are questionable and did not participate in practice, the game status for the Steelers, the players that are actually listed as questionable out are Kenny Pickett, who's actually questionable with an ankle injury, and then Trenton Thompson is out, Macus Fitzpatrick is out, and Elandon Roberts is out. So even though Isaac Seumalo and Najee Harris, they appeared on the injury report this week, they both will be playing. And Mason Rudolph is already named the starter by Mike Tomlin, even though Kenny Pickett is questionable. So that means if Kenny Pickett is playing, he more than likely will be the backup quarterback, and Mitchell Trubisky will be the third guy, and more than likely the inactive guy. So that's the injury report for the Steelers in this game. Now, moving over to the Seattle Seahawks side of the ball. They have a really long injury report with many guys listed as questionable and out. So let me just go through all of them and name all of them to you. So the game status for these players is wide receiver D. Eskridge with a ribs injury is out for the game. Tackle Jason Peters with a foot injury is out for the game. Linebacker Frank Clark, resting and NIR, is out for the game. Safety Jamal Adams with a knee injury is out. Defensive end Mario Edwards with a knee injury is also out. Running back Kenneth Walker III with a shoulder injury, and he's been dealing with illness, is questionable for the game. Nick Boyle with a knee injury is also questionable. He's a linebacker. Linebacker Jordan Brooks with a knee injury, also listed as questionable. Wide receiver DK Metcalf, who's been dealing with a back injury, is also listed as questionable for the game. Cornerback Devin Witherspoon with a hip injury is also listed as questionable. So you see there's many people who are listed as out and questionable for this game. A lot of them I expect to be playing, even though they are questionable for the game, but some people are really up in the air, like Devin Witherspoon. But if the Devin Witherspoon can't go, one of the main guys you're going to see on the field, guess who? Guess who's going to be facing the Steelers? Artie Burns. So, when was the last time we heard that name? Ever since he left Pittsburgh. So, Artie Burns, if Devin Witherspoon can't go, more than likely will be playing a lot. Also, with those linebacker injuries, like Jordan Brooks and Nick Bellor, you see them, if they're not able to go, we're going to see also a familiar face as well. Someone who's been on the team, many people kind of started calling out towards the end of his tenure with the Steelers because of his lack of effort, Devin Bush. So, those two guys, two former Steelers, if those players can't go, they're going to see some time on the field and a lot of time against their former team. But with that being said, that's the Seahawks side of the ball and their injury report for this game. So, enough with the injury talk. Let's talk about the actual game being played on the field. And I'm going to start off with the Steelers once again. The Steelers, like I said, are fighting their way into playoff contention. And they have many ways that they could actually make the playoffs. And if you want to know how they can make the playoffs, go watch my video from yesterday in which I talk about every single scenario it would take for the Steelers to make the playoffs. And there's a lot. So go check it out and watch that if you want to be updated. But on the field, we're going to have to see the Steelers play a really solid football game like they did against the Bengals if they didn't want to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Because Seattle Seahawks, they're really a solid team as well on both sides of the football. So you look at the Steelers, like I said, they have to play a really good game, and hopefully Mason Rudolph is able to continue what he did last week and just be solid for the team. We don't need him to be special. We just need him to make the right throws at the right times and kind of control the game and make the right throws on target and not miss them like other quarterbacks do, not turn over the football like other quarterbacks do. But just play a solid game, play like he did last week, and the Steelers should be fine. And we also need to see running back Najee Harris step up and continue playing at a high level, running in between the tackles, and then Jalen Warren running in between the tackles and being the spark plug with his speed, athleticism, and physicality. The offense line is going to be key in this game. Once again, pass blocking, but also run blocking as well, opening holes in the running game, which then leads to easier throws for the quarterback, Mason Rudolph. But George Pickens last week had a big game, over 190 yards receiving, but only 4 receptions. So hopefully he's involved more in the game plan, gets more targets, more receptions, and is able to put up huge numbers once again. Pat Freiermuth, on the other hand, did not see the football, did not get targeted, did not have a catch last game, so hopefully he could be the safety blanket and the Steelers actually target him and involve him in the game plan instead of just having him block all game and be useless on the running route part of the football. Deontay Johnson also didn't see many targets. He only got really 2 out routes, and others was overthrown in which he could have got a touchdown. So hopefully Mason Rudolph is actually able to hit more throws on target when Deontay Johnson is open. There's many times which he missed Kwon Austin, missed Deontay Johnson for touchdowns, so hopefully they're able to execute on every single pass, and not just some of them. But that's the offense side of the football. The defense side of the football, what do the Steelers do? Well, they're depleted once again in the safety area, and Eric Rowe and Patrick Peterson should be the starters once again for them at that position. And then the cornerback room, obviously, they're going to have to move guys around as well there because there's injuries there as well. Inside linebacker, injury group. So they're going to have to rely once again on their defense line and their edge rushers to get to the quarterback. And TJ Watt, as of right now, has 17 sacks. If he could get 20 by the end of the season, there's a really good chance he could be Defensive Player of the Year. He should be either way, but Myles Garrett's getting a lot of steam from the media and is getting a lot of pace. And right now, it looks like he's going to be the Defensive Player of the Year. He shouldn't be, but it looks like he might be. So hopefully TJ Watt's able to get 20. The Steelers defense is able to play good. The Steelers win this football game and head into next week with an even better chance of making the playoffs. But that's the Steelers side of the football. Let's move over to the Seahawks side of the football. It all starts with Geno Smith being back at quarterback, being the game manager, and also if Kenneth Walker is able to play, that would be a huge boost for Seattle because he has been dealing with some stuff this season, has been injured this season. If he's able to go, I expect him to, but who knows? If he plays, that's someone who's really fast and a really good runner and a really good playmaker, someone who could catch the ball and run the ball. So the Steelers would have to be aware of him. Also, DK Metcalf is a big body receiver. It's going to be a big test for Joey Porter Jr. We all know Joey Porter Jr. loves holding and getting penalty calls on him, so it's going to be a big deal in order to face DK Metcalf and stop him. He's been a really good coverage corner, not allowing deep throws, not allowing a lot of passes completed, so it's going to be a big test facing a big body receiver in DK Metcalf. Also, there's other guys like Jackson Smith-Njigba and also Tyler Lockett on the outside as well to face the Steelers secondary. So those are good wide receivers as well against a depleted secondary. So let's see how they're able to hold up, but expect a lot of throws, medium area throws, and also some deep shots as well, along with a lot of running the football. When Kenneth Walker is healthy, they love to run the football. So be aware for both. Also, Seattle, they're depleted a little bit if their players don't play. Like I said, if cornerback Devin Witherspoon doesn't play, they're shut down a corner, Artie Barnes doesn't have to play. And if their linebackers doesn't play, then Devin Bush doesn't have to play. So their defense is a solid defense. Usually they play good. Usually they don't allow too many points. But this game should be a close game and going down to the wire if the Steelers play like they did last week. But with that being said, that's the end of this video, but just kind of an update with everything on the line for both teams. Both teams need to win this game in order to have a chance to make the playoffs. Seattle Seahawks, there might be another way for them to make it. I'm not too sure about another way, but I'm sure they have to win this game in order to have better chances. And then the Steelers, they need to win this game as well in order to move on and win out and have some other stuff happen. But go watch the video from yesterday if you want to see how. But with that being said, that's the end of this video. But my predictions on the game, I say the Steelers come in with a head of steam, continue playing good, and win this game 2 consecutive games for Mason Rudolph. But let me know your thoughts on who you think's going to win this game down in the comments below, and some stat predictions as well. But also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if the exterior content analysis reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for this channel as well. Click that bell down below so you never miss out whenever I post the next video, and you can stay up to date with everything Steelers football. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notifications. I cover everything, film breakdowns, breaking news, and everything. So I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.